Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3. I know we've been a little bit off of the regular schedule lately. A lot's been happening, right? We had the Christmas season, and then I was figuring out how to stream for the first time ever, which was really fun, and we had the Christmas giveaway. So there's been a lot going on, just not, your classic old-fashioned casted games. So we are back into it, and I found an interesting matchup. It's a vanilla matchup, but it's not one you see super often, and I'm excited to take a look. We are on Pampas, and in the south of the map, playing in the color blue as the Germans, we got Crazy Ape from the clan NGDZ, which I am not familiar with. Both these guys around the 1600 elo level, so I tend to think of that as like mid-elo, so like that 14 to 1600. And then high elo 1800 up, but some other people cut that off at 2000. It doesn't really matter because, like I've said over and over, elo's kind of a hollow stat that you shouldn't really care that much about, if I'm being totally honest. Just enjoy the game for what it is at whatever your level. So we have a 1600 level player, Crazy Ape. I've never seen him before, and his opponent is also someone I've never seen before in the north of the map, playing in the color red as the Portuguese. We have Pedro PT, and this is why I'm excited for this matchup. Number one, it's nice to see a little bit of Civ variety, because honestly, finding games at the top of the ranked lobbies is really tough, because all I'm seeing nowadays is Brit, France, Ottoman, and those are like the three that take up like 70% of the games I try to find. So I like the Germany versus Portuguese matchup. We have a little bit of an explorer duel going on here, as Pedro is trying to put down the first trading post. And I like what Crazy Ape's doing here. He's going to get some free damage. That does take away any potential time he could use to gather treasures. And there are decent treasures on this map that are pretty easily takeable, because you got a lot of these bandit blowgunners, which you can melee these guys really easily. And they actually won't do a lot of significant damage. But we're seeing two vanilla civs that have really come into their own, both strong civilizations. Definitely, probably not S tier on most people's tier lists, though Portuguese is probably up there, but definitely strong. Certainly strong. Germany has been strong for, basically ever, and Portuguese has really come into its own on DE. So let's see what Pedro is doing, sending Feitorias as his first card. Otherwise, a fairly standard Portuguese deck, heavy on the economic upgrades, which I love to see. Has all of the necessities for Age 3. He's got 3 organ guns, both Cassadors, the 8 Halbs, and he's even got some juicy stuff in Age 4 as well. So nothing too out of the ordinary here. I think we're going to be seeing the standard Portuguese Age 3 play. We are not seeing a 10-10, so maybe not as quick as other Portuguese builds allow. And more Explorer combat. These guys are just having at each other. Gil Real versus Gebhard Dahlmann. I don't even know. Is that a German name? And meanwhile, let's take a look. Speaking of German, what is Crazy Ape doing? He's got a team deck. Oh, this is a weird deck. Hold on. What is this? Are you guys seeing this right now? I might have to make this deck the thumbnail with a big question mark. Okay, he's got 2 Settler Wagon, 3 Settler Wagon. That's standard. 700 wood, 700 coin. Bunch of cab upgrades. Silversmith? Okay. No 600 wood, which is standard for Germany. He's got his Black Riders, no Jaegers, no 8 Ulan, no 8 Skirm, no War Wagon? What? And so many upgrades. Look at this. He's got Royal Mint. He's got Refrigeration. He's got Textile Mill. When is the last time you've seen Textile Mill in a ranked game? He's got Germantown Farmers, which allows you to train. Okay, did he just pick the wrong deck on accident? I'm convinced this guy picked the wrong deck on accident. Or this is his first ever 1v1. Either of those two is possible. Going up with the Quartermaster, at least that is standard. And meanwhile, Pedro is already up, and looks like he went up with the Cow. And let's see where that second town center goes. You can always kind of get a measure of the Portuguese build by where they put that second town center especially. Sort of can do the same thing with the third, but definitely the second. You want to scout it out, because this Ladies and gentlemen, this is an aggressive town center. Maybe he's trying to secure these hunts in this coin mine up here. Is he going to try to play the contain game? On Pampas, it can be kind of weird. Either the players split the map down this way, right? So one player gets this side, one player gets this side, or they kind of do the reverse and they go north and south. So one player gets this side and one player gets this side, which it seems like they're doing. And the town center wagon going to do a bit of backtracking here, going to secure that coin mine and that herd of Rias. I don't even know what that bird is. A South American bird. And it is going to protect that town center. So I like what he's doing here, though Germany also getting a lot of trading posts here. And I think I called that a town center, the trading post. And he's going to secure 2 of his own in transition, getting his market upgrades and a church. And Crazy Ape, the name is ringing true because he is doing some really crazy stuff right now. Sent 3 settler wagon, that's standard. And so he's got a shipment. What is he going to send? Come on, Crazy Ape. Send something. 700 wood, 700 coin. Come on, it's going to be one of these two. I know it. 700 coin. Okay, and he's macroing for age 3. So we're going to be seeing age 3 Germany here, but he doesn't have like all of the ingredients of the typical age 3 German steamroll. And I mean, is he just going to go hard on eco upgrades into age 4? Maybe that's what he's doing. Some sort of weird, boomy FI build. Or maybe it's a totally standard build that I just don't know about. Meanwhile, Portuguese, he's just playing this so standard. Portugal getting down a stable, sending 700 coins, 700 wood, aging up with the marksman. He's going to get those 6 Caçadores, getting his market. Yeah, I mean, he is, this is the most vanilla Portugal ever. Meanwhile, Germany doesn't even have 8 skirm. That is crazy to me. No 8 skirm in a German deck? What is this card here? He's got the princely Bavarian. I'm not even going to try to say that word. Replaces war wagons in your stable with the Prince Cheval Legers. Okay. So no wonder he doesn't have 3 war wagons. 2 Uhlans now going out on the map. Going to try to get some raiding done, but they're not going to get a lot of success there. I will say, Pedro has done a really good job with his herding here. He's got food for days, so his villagers are going to be safe. Currently 20 vils for Crazy Ape and 19 vils for Pedro. So he is paying for this very fast age up. And he is going to be down in villagers, especially when you take into account the amount of settler wagons that Crazy Ape has. But he's going to have 3 town centers. And he's going to be claiming a lot of map control here. I would love... Yeah, okay. That is exactly where I wanted the town center to go. It's covered from the north by these trading routes, so it's a nice choke point. He could get 2 possible herds in, and he's right next to a coin mine, and he's even got some tree cover against any potential fights there with the Uhlans. So love that TC placement by Pedro. But he's going to lose this trading post here to Crazy Ape's pressure. The 4 Uhlan pressure. He could call Minutemen. And what is Crazy Ape doing? He is now in age 3 as well. Went up with the Exiled Prince and sending 1,000 wood as his first card. Second card coming in. Oh my god, what? He's making petards! And my mic just peaked. He's making petards, ladies and gentlemen! Oh, I knew this game was going to be good. All right, 5 goons coming out from Pedro. He's going to lose these Uhlans. But, I mean, what is he even going to try to blow up? What does he see? Let's take a look from Crazy Ape's perspective. All he sees is the trading post, the second town center, and the original town center, though this third town center would be a much easier target. So what is he going to go for? I think you need 6 petards to kill a town center. It's either 5 or 6. And where is he even training those guys from? Where is he training the petards from? Does he have a artillery foundry somewhere? Oh, he's got it right here, but they're going to get caught. Oh, man, that is such a waste of resources. These guys are 150 resources each. And he's going to do a lot of damage. The town center is going to survive with 100 HP. And if Pedro had not taken out that single petard, he would have lost that town center. So I like the play by Crazy Ape. And now is he going to pick up a Vil here? These Uhlans are just being very weird. They're just kind of sieging random stuff. They are going to pick off a Vil, but the goons are going to pick them off in return. Pedro still playing this standard. sent 1,000 wood and is now going to send a fort, probably to this TC. This TC is already being repaired. So, I mean, if we think about it, 150, 300, 450, 600, that's 750 resources that really didn't accomplish anything. Because there was no follow-up, right? Even if he had had just like a few skirms or Ulans there to just sacrifice and put some damage on the TC, he probably still could have taken it down. But now the map control from Portuguese is starting to get out of hand. He's got Dragoons all over the map. His micro in defending his raids has been decent. He's only lost a couple of bills. He's now at 29 versus the 23 of Crazy Ape. And now Crazy Ape is sending the princely Bavarian Chevaliers? The Chevys? We're going to call them the Chevys. A reliable unit. Along with the Black Riders, when did he sneak that in? So 9 Black Riders are going to absolutely crap on this army for Portugal. And Portugal has been very greedy here. He sent 1,000 wood and a fort. So his forces are not going to be that extensive as of right now. But the Portuguese economy is going to start kicking in here. And if he's going to go ranged cav, which it seems like Germany is wont to do, Pedro hopefully reads that and goes into mass... Probably mass organ gun, but mass Cassador. I mean, do organ guns do well against range cav? I feel like they do okay as long as they're kept at a distance, but he's got more petards. He's not giving up. But look at the big brain move here by Pedro. He's getting the wall in. He probably thinks more petards are on the way. And so he's going to have to waste at least 1 petard just to get at that town center. But these units, these Prince Chevaliers, they have 23 ranged attack, 282 HP, and a 20% ranged resist, so they will absolutely dumpster these Dragoons, and along with the Black Riders, 1 petard is going to make it to the TC, but that is not going to be enough. But at the same time, the Portuguese army, even with the help of the Minutemen, is going to lose here. But now 8 Cassadors coming out. This might be just what he needs to seal the deal. And what is Crazy Ape doing to back this up? He's got a shipment available. Is he going to send... I don't even know what to send here. I don't know this deck, right? I mean, what do you send at this point? This would be the perfect time for 8 Skirm. But he doesn't have it. Still going to clean up this army here. 8 Cassadors going down, so I guess these guys in melee... Oh, they also have 31 hand attack. So these guys are kind of like Hack-a-Pellets, I assume, like juiced up Hack-a-Pellets. 27 vills for Germany and 33 vills for Pedro. And now he's having to invest in a lot of military shipments here. These units not the best at hunting vills, but they are going to do well against these Dragoons. And these Dragoons are expensive, remember, 180 resources. And the Portuguese economy is not at the point where they can afford to lose such expensive units. 7 Cassadors now coming out. He is triple queuing at the TC, and he has plenty of food. Look at these. He has 2 safe hunts behind his fort, and he has 2 safe hunts back here. So Portuguese on the food front is going to be just fine. Germany, not as necessary for their economy to have a lot of food, but they are going to have plenty of coin mines. So both economies in a relatively stable state. 9 Ulan joining the fray for Germany, and he's got 3 Falconets! Oh my god, every time I think Crazy Ape's build is just crap, he completely proves me wrong. So he's going off the Petard track and going on to the Falconet track, and there is no way that Pedro can even hope to touch these Falconets with what he currently has. Now, he does have an artillery foundry very close at hand, so he needs to get out at least 1 Culver and hopefully 2. But now Cav combat is coming in for Crazy Ape. Meanwhile, 8 Halberdiers coming in from Pedro, and as long as Crazy Ape... Oh no, he's got to kite this effectively. 3 Falconets will kill 8 Halberdiers. And where do they come out of? Are they coming out of the original TC? Yeah, okay, so they're coming out of the back TC. So he's not going to lose those immediately to the Falconets. Are the Dragoons going to try to push in? The veteran Ulan upgrade is now in, so this German force is only getting scarier, especially now with the cavalry upgrade card, and he could potentially send 2 more cav upgrades on top of it. And the town center goes down, and Crazy Ape's build is actually starting to look pretty clean here, because Pedro... Yeah, maybe the fort was unnecessary, but Pedro has not made a lot of significant mistakes here. He's just been playing standard ports. and yet the German build, it looks like it's really caught him off guard. Now, that being said, there are still quite a few veteran Dragoons, veteran Halberdiers, but those Dragoons are going to have to be used so well. And now going to lose this Artillery Foundry, but it looks like Pedro is about to move in. No, he's not going to move in after all. Trying to keep those in cover mode, but out come the 2 Culverins, and this might be exactly what Portugal needs. 1 Falconet going down, but 1 Culverin going down as well, and the cavalry deciding to pull back, and look at that. Crazy Ape knows that he can't win that fight, and so choosing to conserve his cavalry ball, which I think, honestly, was probably a good decision. Now, did those 3 Falconets get their values worth? I think so. Okay, they killed a TC, they killed an Artillery Foundry, so pretty good bang for the buck there for Crazy Ape. And now he has an incredibly mobile army, which Pedro's going to have a hard time keeping up with. All he has is Dragoons, but if he's only fighting these guys with his Dragoons, he'll probably lose. But now, Crazy Ape running directly into Fort Al-Halali, but deciding to take the fight anyway. And even though these Uhlans are not good against the Dragoons, their snaring ability is really all they need to be doing right now. And they do have high hand attacks, so when they are able to connect, they do nice damage against the Dragoons here. I didn't know what to say there. I had a little bit of a mental lapse. Let's take a look at the economies real quick while we can. 32 Vils for Germany, 41 Vils for Portugal. And let's take a look here. He's still got a few of the Black Riders. He's got the veteran Prinz, the Chevys. But now he's starting to move out on more exposed coin mines, so that is something we need to keep in mind. Gonna lose these Halberdiers for free. And the Portuguese shipments have run dry. He still has 3 organ guns, and he still has 5 goons, and he definitely needs to send Dragoon combat, because his army is mostly Dragoons. And oh no, he did not lose the Artillery Foundry. Okay, so that makes the 3 Falconets maybe a little less valuable. That Artillery Foundry is on 67 HP. Hopefully Crazy Ape sees that and tries to snipe it with a couple of units. Right now, just trying to be a nuisance. Pedro now only on 2 TPs. Crazy Ape floating a lot of resources here. And now sending Skarnhorst Reform. Crossbowmen are fully replaced by Landweers. Landweers are riflemen, inflict higher base damage, less bonus damage. Okay, so they're more of a utility unit, but they're not as good in their skirmisher specialty role. And he is getting out some veteran skirmishers now. And honestly, I don't really know who is more in an advantage at this fight. I want to say Portugal, just from sheer mass and the help of the Minutemen. And yeah, this looks like it's going to be a clean sweep for Pedro. More veteran skirms coming out and more Chevys. Even when Sweden is not being played, the Hackapellet laming, or the Hackapellant equivalent laming, is strong. And the Dragoon mass is going to be destroyed. And these Chevys, oh my god, 318 HP. And he could still send another 2 cavalry upgrades. Has not sent any of these weird eco upgrades that I was kind of giving the side eye at earlier in the game. But now the Portuguese army has been completely wiped. And Pedro not floating a ton of resources at the moment. He's really struggling for food. These villagers now a little more exposed with this German army on top of it. And there are also 10 vills queued up in the town center. So effectively only 30 vills right now versus the 36. And that is not counting the extra population and efficiency of the war wagons. Now log flume coming in for Crazy Ape here. That's not a upgrade you see in a lot of mid-length games. It's something you see more in like Age 4 games. Log flume. Oh man, what a match this is. And I think some of those interesting, yeah, these Landweers are now out. Oh, I love the look of these guys. Look at these dudes. Oh, they look fantastic. So, again, they're going to do less bonus damage than these skirmishers, but they're going to do more base damage. Ranged attack of 24 versus the 18 of the skirmisher. And now things are actually looking really good for Germany. He's raiding, He's sieging down both TPs, and the Portuguese response here, I don't think it's going to be enough, especially if these land weirs come from the south of the map. These organ guns going to try to get off a shot. They're going to get a little bit of a volley on this German town center. And it looks like, did he send a covered wagon, or how did he get that town center up? I don't even know how he got that town center up. But it is not going to go up. First organ gun going down, and they're just completely ignoring the dragoons here. Going for the third organ gun. And now the Landweers, along with a few regular veteran skirms, are in. And this is going to go very heavily in Germany's favor. And this is looking very, very good for Pedro at the moment. And oh, look at all of these juicy vills down here. They've been abandoned. They have been abandoned by the Portuguese army. And now they are deep within enemy territory. The plight of these 8 brave souls. Just gonna go chop wood. Stay out of sight, out of mind. More dragoons coming out from Pedro, and double Landwehr production coming out, and now sending textile mills. And I mean, I guess that's going to be useful because estates are probably not far away. And I like this switch up here by Crazy Ape. He realizes that the amount of dragoons is starting to rise, so just trying to brute force them down with these Chevys is no longer efficient. And the 8 villagers, the brave travelers have been sighted. And now 5 Landweers immediately going down, along with some Chevys. And the Portuguese army, I mean, they really have no realistic hope of saving these vills. Gonna try anyways, but it is not gonna happen. All 8 of those vills dying. And that's a huge loss. I mean, Crazy Ape is at 42 vills. In Portugal, normally the vill leader is only at 38. Producing organ guns right now, which is what he needs against the Landweers. I'm probably saying that wrong, because right in German, you don't pronounce the W. So is it Landwehr? I have no idea. Somebody who speaks German, let me know in the comments below. And oh no, those organ guns, ew! Microwing to the back, which actually is going to put them right in the range of the skirmishers. And both of those organ guns going down for almost no cost. And that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. That camel being Pedro PT. But, I mean, yeah, there's no way of beating Germany now. Now his deck looks really good, right? Because he's in the late game, and he can just start sending, he could send Germantown Farmers, Royal Mint, Refrigeration, Silversmith, Eco Theory. And, I mean, there's no realistic hope for Portugal here. I mean, he's not going to get into Age 4. Oh, that was a fun game. I loved that matchup. I'm definitely going to make the deck the thumbnail because that was the most interesting part of this build, but it worked. I don't know if it works better than just standard Skirm Ulan War Wagon. Of that, I am not sure. Maybe more experienced German players can let me know in the comments below. But is this like a standard thing for German mains now? Is this a build that I have been neglecting that is rising to notoriety? Let me know. But let's take a look at this game in more detail. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, guys, here we are in the post game. We won't spend too long on this. A slight resource edge for Germany, which is impressive against Portugal. Whenever you lead in vills or resources against Portuguese, you're usually in a pretty good spot. Also leading in military, did very well in terms of units killed and units lost. A much better KD ratio than Pedro. And Pedro even lost more buildings. So in terms of military, a clean sweep for Germany. And when we look at the villager count here, we see steady rise for Portugal, a couple of raids here, and then a lot of stagnation. I don't know if that was because he needed to get out those military units. We have a minute here, and then another like 3 minutes here, and then another minute here, and then we have that huge loss of the poor traveling villagers. And by the end, Crazy Ape was actually in the lead, which when we turn that into villager population, that lead only grows because, of course, settler wagons are worth about 2 villagers. So a really, really fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, and please, I want to know about that German deck of Crazy Ape. So Crazy Ape, if you happen to see this, please tell me why you don't have 8 Skirm and why you have so many of those upgrades. Maybe maybe you're forging a new way forward, or maybe you stole the build from somebody else like I do. But guys, I will be back with another game in a couple days. Until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.